Hi, I'm Jennifer Lee, and I'm so excited to be here with Nicole Piar. Hi, Nicole.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. Nicole is an artist, healer, and illustrator and creator of just magical artistic landscapes. And they really help you tap into your intuition and imagination. I've had the pleasure of knowing Nicole since I think it was like 2013, maybe, that you
Yeah.
joined the cohort circle, and we're in it for 2 rounds. And I remember being so impressed and inspired by how you would just like announce, like, okay, I'm gonna go and send all these emails for possible projects, or I'm gonna start this challenge, and you would just like get stuff done. you know. So I think that's probably why I wanted to chat with you here because there's so many creatives in our community who I think could really learn from you in terms of how you take a seed of an idea, you know, announce it and then make it happen. And I know you've got a project that's near and dear to your heart. In fact, I think you mentioned it in our cohort circle. I think I remember the post like these magical kitties are
Yeah.
calling me and asking me to be a card deck. So I'd love for you to share a little bit about what it's been like, what this project is, and what you're doing with it.
Yeah. So I created a deck. It's 44 cards, and they have a like a magical kitty illustration on one side, and then a healing, inspirational message on the other. And it's funny because when I started the project, I didn't know that that's what it was going to be. Like it
Right.
started very organically. I just do a lot of client illustration, so that was filling up my days, and I wanted to have sort of this playful, intuitive space where I could just explore with my art. And so I just did something really simple, like setting 10 minutes aside after doing, my client work to just play. And these magical kitties started appearing. So I was curious about them and I
Hmm.
decided, oh, I want to, take this further and paint them more. And actually, this happened within the cohort circle, but I did a month where I painted a
Right.
cat every day. So it was a month of cats project. And
Hashtag month of cats.
yeah, hashtag month of cats, exactly. And actually, that was really incredible because it brought a lot of people um, in with me. So they were taking this journey along with me and watching it unfold real time, which was really cool for me. And it was also giving me seeing how these images were affecting people and hearing their responses to them and hearing about their relationships with their cats and all of these that made them sending pictures. So it created this great um, relationships and just sort of they could share in the vision that I was having as it was unfolding.
Mm.
And I started noticing that as I was sharing these cats every day, they were also coming through with messages, and they
Mm.
each had their own little personalities and their own sort of inspirational messages to share. So even though I didn't flesh that out fully at that time, it's already started to happen just organically. And it seemed, after, like during, I was like, it is a deck of inspirational cards. It like already is without me having planned it
Yeah.
ahead. It's just already emerging as that. And from there, it was really just taking it further and really setting down to do the actual writing and paint more paintings and um, give it more substance and depth and yeah. And then this was also a way that I could get all of these kitty paintings and the messages to people in a way that they could interact with them in their day-to-day life. And they're really simple to use, and you can use, you can have them as a morning ritual, you can use them as
Mm.
a creative practice. um, and I like that they're just like accessible to everyone, that it's, you don't need like a background in tarot
Mm.
or um, know a lot about it before. You can just like pick them up and have fun with them. So
Yep.
yeah.
Let it
Yeah,
speak to you. So I imagine you have some to show
I
us.
do.
Okay.
So I have a couple. So actually, just because it's kind of interesting, this is like actually the stack of paintings.
Whoa.
So
That's
there's 44
awesome.
paintings here. That's where they all ever came from. So this is one that I actually did sort of recently.
Hmm.
Um, and she's for the nurture card. It's the tending your garden. So she's,
Oh,
tending her flowers and creating this amazing thing with that nurturing energy. So that's one of them. And this
beautiful.
one is Michigan, Rough and Tumble. So they also have like little cute names too. So
Of course.
they really became like these characters for me. Like they have like their own sort of reality in my imagination. So yeah, he is very mischievous and playful and kind of reminds us not to take things too seriously and be
Hmm.
more lighthearted and have more fun.
We could all use that.
Yeah, and then this one here, this is Lavendriel, and she's the
Can you
guardian
scoot it
energy.
over a little bit to the middle? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go. Yep. Thanks.
So yeah, she is guardian energy, and I like to think of her as like guarding our mind against like negativity
Mm.
or delusion or um, self-criticism. So like she's sort of standing sentinel in our mind and helping us to recognize when those energies are taking over and holding them
Hmm.
at bay. So yeah, so I have, oh, and this is another one I just created recently. I'm always excited about the ones I just created because it's like, I'm like thinking about it. Oh, and it
Yeah.
matches too. Yeah, it's perfect. But yeah, this one is, here, this one's trust. So
Mm.
she's in the dark forest at night and it's like when we trust, we can be in a place that's scary. And yeah, it gets
Mm.
illuminated and it feels like there's magic there for us. So I think trust is a really powerful energy. So yeah, that's
Oh
another
my
one.
gosh, these are amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I always joke because you know that I'm a dog person.
Yes.
And it's like you convert me to like love cats and like I want a deck and all that stuff because you
Totally.
just make them so whimsical and fun and deep and meaningful. And it's been cool because I know a little bit about your background and how you have the meditation and healing perspective in your own practice and training. And so bringing the art and spirituality together in this tangible product is just so awesome.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like it really is for me. It's like this amazing culmination of something that just seems so like such a natural extension of my inner world and what I do in my life and something that can be really healing for other people.
Hmm.
And I do feel like that's something I really helped to uncover during the cohort circle
Mm.
because I had um, art and illustration as my career, and I had a lot of meditation, intuitive channeling. I did that personally and with my close friends, and it was always sort of a guiding force in my life. And to bring them together really just made it so much more powerful for me. And I also feel that um, the people who receive that on the other end, it's like they can feel that energy within it. So it has power for other people too. So I love seeing that happen. It's been so exciting. I've done lots of like free spirit cat card readings and things
Oh,
online.
fun.
And it's been fun to see how because in my mind I'm like, oh, I have these like cute little cats, and then it's so amazing when I actually see it interacting with people and I see the healing and the depth of the meaning that it can have for someone. So that's
Right.
yeah, it's like once you put it out there, it goes way beyond what you feel like you're doing initially. You're like,
Totally.
it has its own life that when it interacts with
Yeah,
people.
and that's why having products, is so helpful because you have these gifts that sometimes you even take for granted.
Yeah,
And then with products, you're able to share it with people and they can
right.
easily interact and benefit. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Um,
Yeah, I love that idea that they'll actually have this deck that they can have in their life, in their, everyday life that they can use. And I mean, I love oracle decks, I love tarot cards. So for me, I always like love picking them. It's always so much fun.
yeah,
And I find a lot of times for me, it's either I really like the art or I like what they're saying, but sometimes they don't always go together. Like
yeah.
the really beautiful ones will be really complex, and they'll be like
Mm,
hard to figure
yeah.
out.
What does this mean for me? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't understand this metaphor or story. Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that this is cohesive. All of the art is cohesive, and yeah, it's really like simple and just easy to activate your intuition because it's
Yeah.
really about what's in us. The cards are just there to help unlock what's within us. That's where the real magic is. It's like that interaction there. So,
Right, right. I have a couple questions just about kind of
sure,
the process.
yeah, sure.
Um, I guess how long did it take you to like write all because it's like a two-part thing of like
Yeah,
writing the content and then also painting and then
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well, I did the 30 cats as part of the month of cats. So that
right.
was actually about a little over a year ago. And then I sort of painted, I was doing other projects at the time. So it wasn't like I was consistently working on this for the whole year, but I was doing, painting some cats along the way. And then I really sat down for, I mean, I also was also working on other projects as
Of
well, but
course,
the
yeah.
month of October was when I did the most of the writing, where I just
Okay.
really like, set a lot of time aside to kind of go through and um, write all of the meanings for each card. And then the other part that's like the behind the scenes part is there's a lot of work too in terms of figuring out
Yep,
manufacturers,
the
getting this,
production part.
yeah, the production and learning about that for me too. Even though I've done things that ended up into real products, but I'm not usually the manufacturer myself.
Right.
Usually I make the art and then a company produces it.
Exactly. You send the file and then
Exactly, it's all like and then there's the product.
right.
This cute journal, and so yeah, there's that, and then also learning, since I'm launching it via Kickstarter, like learning about how that works, and how to get the word out. All of these different, there's all these other layers that people
Yeah.
don't always think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the Kickstarter campaign and
Yeah,
yeah.
so the Kickstarter campaign, it begins on February 1st, and I chose Kickstarter because I think it's a really good tool to kind of bring people together at a specific time
Mm,
to that want the deck. It gives them a way to pre-order it,
yep.
and support the vision coming to life. So that's really why I chose it. I thought it could help bring it all together, and then also create the funds for doing the initial
Hmm.
print, the first print run,
Totally.
which is a minimum number usually. So yeah, it's a fair amount of decks to print initially.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why it felt like a good way, because I felt like there was a lot of people who had been asking me for them and
Hmm.
interested in them. Even since I did Month of Cats, people were like,
Hmm.
"Is there going to be, something more like a
Right.
deck?" so, so yeah,
Well, it's a great example. I mean, one of the things we talk about in mentorship is the idea of launching something, but of course, building up awareness over time. And I think your
yes,
story illustrates that so beautifully because like you said, it's not like you had this plan like I'm going to launch this card deck. You just followed your intuition, created art, and then noticed that wow, people were responding to this.
right,
And that was like you said a year and a half ago, and now we're here the place of okay, these cards are almost in the hands of your peeps.
right, yeah,
And then having this like you said, a time sensitive thing or having it kind of um, concentrated effort around it will really
yeah.
help,
Yeah,
yeah, with the
and there's been
launch.
a lot of there was the month of cats which I did a year ago, and then even now there's been a lot of things that I've been doing to build up to the Kickstarter launch. Like I
Right.
did the free um, card readings. I
Hmm.
did a challenge with tarot and oracle cards on Instagram for
Right.
2 weeks, which actually was really brought in a lot of people and developed a lot of new relationships. So that was amazing. It was much more successful than what I anticipated. So
Oh,
it was
cool.
really good. And then from there, now I'm doing a free mini e-course that's on tarot and oracle cards and using them to tune into your intuition, find your vision, and bring that find your path from your vision. So
Nice.
I'm doing these things that are kind of bringing in people who are interested in working with decks, and then I'll use my deck,
Of course, yeah.
which doesn't exist yet outside of me having it. So it's like they'll get to see it,
Right.
and people get excited about seeing it, and they're like, "What's that?" Like, when can I get one?
Exactly. So with the campaign, when it's done, like what's the date of like when people could actually hold a deck in their hands?
Yeah, so all of the art's done, the writing is done. I have my manufacturer. Once the campaign is finished, that's when I'm going to place the order with the
Hmm.
manufacturer, and then that takes about 3.5 months from the time that I give them all of my files
Yep.
to them like it arriving at my house.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's probably, I would say, after the campaign ends, it's probably around 4 months
Hmm.
out before people will have them.
Hmm.
And yeah, so there is a bit of a wait in the beginning, but I'm already impatient. Like I'm like, I want my deck right now.
Right.
But it will come. It will come. Actually, there's a patience card, so I'll look
Oh,
at
well,
that.
there you go. You need to call on patience. Well, thank you so much for sharing your journey. And for those of you watching, Nicole is definitely one to watch. I mean, you've heard from her journey here how she's been able to manifest her creative ideas and projects and, you know, work to get them in the hands of her peeps. So thank you so much, Nicole.
Thank you.